What's up, Hellraisers? Welcome back to another movie review. And I know it's been a long ass time since I haven't posted, but whatever, no one cares. So today I will be reviewing a classic Christmas movie that came out in 1983, A Christmas Story. This movie tells a story about a young man who wants a gun, a BB gun rifle, and no one wants to get it for him. Little by he know, his mother tell him, you don't want that because you'll shoot your eye out. Everyone said that exact same thing to him. And now he finally got it and he almost did shoot his eye out. So let's review A Christmas Story. So this movie is a yearly rewatch for me. Every time Christmas Eve or Christmas come around, I always go to rewatch this movie. Always, no matter what. This movie is always going to be one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. It's this one and Home Alone 2. I believe Home Alone 2. But luckily for this movie is a classic movie that was destined to become a classic. It deserves to be a classic. It deserves to be a yearly rewatch thing. If you have never started A Christmas Story, what in the hell are you doing? This movie is worth the watch. As soon as this movie come on, the characters is so invested with the story. The story moves along with the characters. So we learned that Raph wants a gun, a BB gun, like a little toy BB gun, and he wants it, but then he hesitates to tell people why he wants it or what he wants for Christmas. And every time he mentioned it, he feels guilty about mentioning it. Like, there's so many times in this movie where he says, like, what he wants, and he go, oh, like, every single time. Honestly, when I was a kid, I didn't never want stuff like that, but I've always hesitated to say the things that I really want, because then again, I feel guilty about wanting it because either it was too expensive or it might be too offensive. So, I mean, this is the kind of movie that a lot of people can relate to, especially when it comes down to Christmas. This movie also set itself in the 1940s, but it was made in 1983. The director, Bob Clark, did just a fantastic job at crafting and shooting this movie. The only problem that I have with this movie, which would be my con, but like I said, Bob Clark did just a fantastic job. He is a legendary director. If you don't know who he is, you probably will be missing out. But he did just a lot of great movies. I'm not going to go down the entire list. But honestly, this is one of my favorite movies that he directed. I love his choice. I love his lighting that he set for this entire movie. There's a lot of jokes in this movie that is hilariously funny, and still to this day, these jokes age really well. There's one specific scene that I always laugh out loud when he says, "You use about the glue on purpose." I love that fucking scene. That scene makes me laugh every time I watch it.
We're out of glue.
You used up all the glue on purpose.
Now, moving on into the cons. Now, this is the only con that I have with the movie. If the editing in this movie, you can tell there's a lot of reshoots. So, for example, there was one scene where he shot with the lady, the mother in the film. She was holding the broken lamp and it was completely destroyed. But then there was another scene where the leg was a whole leg. And you can tell that was another reshoot because I'm guessing they must have, they went all right, so we're going to make scene one, we're going to take a break, then we're going to pick up from right here. You can tell there's a lot of reshoot. It's very, very noticeable once you pay attention to it. There was another scene where he was downstairs in the basement and there was a little vent thing or something like that, or the heater. And you can tell the heater was facing this way. And then when he came upstairs, then the camera aimed back, it was facing this way. So there's a lot of editing in this movie that you can tell to have a lot of reshoot. The reason I put it in my con is because it's kind of I guess you would say, a distraction. But like I said, I still enjoyed the movie. This would still be a yearly rewatch for me. I will always rewatch this movie no matter what, period. Despite all or like the bad editing and stuff like that, I would still rewatch it. My grade for this movie is period A plus. Period. I don't care what no one says. This movie is a fucking straight up classic, and it will always be a tradition for me to rewatch it every single year. So this is gonna be the first video of this month. I know this month is almost out, but no one cares. Like I said, just make sure you have a nice Merry Christmas, and make sure you just drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and as I always done on my other videos, make sure you keep a beautiful smile on your face, stay positive, and I'll see you here in the next video. Peace.